make a table of values for the function, then graph. Y equals 2 times 1/2 to the x minus 1. This is an exponential function. It's kind of nice to start with a generic set of ordered pairs here, -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. We need to identify two important things here, our h value and our k value from this function. H is going to be the opposite of whatever is in the exponent. It looks like -1, so I'm going to say +1. That is what we're going to add to these numbers here to give us a better set of input values. That would make -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. If I go down that list, then the k value, normally we have a plus something on the end here, but since it has disappeared, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It just means that the value would be 0, because we don't normally write a 0, so that means our k value is going to be 0. That is important because that will be our horizontal asymptote on this graph, so it's going to be a imaginary boundary that we cannot cross. I'll put a dotted line there to represent that, so we will not cross that green line when we draw our graph. All right, I need to fill out the output side of our table. Remember that we calculate that by plugging in one of the red numbers into this little box right there and running it through a calculator. I'm gonna get that set up on my screen. You don't have to write all those down, but you could just throw them into a calculator and get those answers. So you will see those here in 3, 2, 1. Remember that you are calculating whatever red number that you are plugging into that actual function. So I'm gonna put -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3 in the spot where x used to be, because you're plugging in an actual x number. If you run each one of those lines through a calculator, you would get the following outputs. You would have 8, 4, 2, 1, and 1/2, or we could say 0.5, either way. You might be able to notice a little pattern there, 8, 4, 2, 1, 1/2. There's a certain reason for that based on the function. See if you can figure that out. Let's put these dots on the graph, try to draw our curve, and remember that we will stay away from that green line as we're drawing those. So -1, +8, 0, 4, 1, 2, 2, 1, and 3 and 0.5, half of a box. I can kind of see my curve is falling to the right, but we're not going to cross that green line, so it will look something like this. I like to draw kind of the flat tail first, and then do my best to draw a curve going the other direction. As smooth as you can make it, the better. I didn't do quite that great, but that'll work.